Hello everybody, Havoc29 here. Today we are going to do some learning about solar production of the EU, also known as the energy unit. Here we got all the important stuff for the energy unit, for the solar production. We'll start right here. Over here we have the solar panel. Its output is 1 EU per tick. It is the lowest of all the solar energy production. Next we have the low voltage solar array. Its output is 8 EU per tick, which is equivalent to 8 solar panels. Next up we have the medium voltage solar array. Its output is 64 EU per tick, which for those of you is equal to 8 of those low voltage solar arrays. And finally we have the high voltage solar array. Its output is 512 EU per tick, equivalent to 8 medium voltage solar arrays. Next up we have our transformers. We have the low voltage transformer. It converts medium voltage, which is 128 EU, into low voltage, which is 32 EU. Next up we have the medium voltage transformer. It converts high voltage, which is 512 EU, into medium voltage, which is 128 EU. Last up for the transformers we have the high voltage transformer. It converts extreme voltage, which is anything greater than 512 EU, into high voltage. And next up we have the energy storage. This is the tier 1 energy storage. Its EU capacity only holds 40,000 EU. Its output is 32 EU per tick. Next up we have the tier 2. This is called the BAT box, by the way. Next up we have the tier 2, which is called the MFE. Its EU storage capacity is 600,000 EU. Its output is 128 EU per tick. Last but not least, we have the tier 3 EU storage. It is called the MFSU. Its capacity is 10 million EU. Its output is 512 EU per tick. Last up we have the different kinds of cabling that you can use to hook up your power. First up we have the ultra low voltage cable. It can carry a maximum of 5 EU per tick. Its energy loss: for every 40 blocks of this cable, you lose 1 EU. Next up we have the copper cable. It's the most commonly used cable in Feed the Beast. Can carry 32 EU max. Its energy loss: for every 5 blocks of copper cable, you lose 1 EU. Next up, we have the double insulated gold cable. It can carry up to 128 EU max. Its energy loss is very inefficient, but it loses 1 EU for every 2.5 cable you lay. So, next up we have the glass fiber. It is the most efficient carrier of EU that we have. It carries 512 EU max with an energy loss of 1 EU per 40 blocks traveled. Now we have the insane stuff. This is the high voltage cable. It can carry 2048 EU max, with an energy loss of 1 EU for every 1 1/4 block you place. Okay, we got the we can place the solar array or panel down and connect it directly to the bat box. The bat box has 6 sides, 5 input, 1 output. The input is everything else but the little plug here. Now for the low voltage, we have, it can be directly hooked into the bat box as well. Keep in mind that the low voltage can also be hooked into the MFE and the MFSU. Next up, we have the medium voltage solar array. This cannot directly be hooked up to the bat box, for it will explode like such. We'll just fill this in real quick. So that leaves us with an issue. We have to hook it up to a low voltage transformer first. And then after that, we can hook it up to the bat box. Yes, we can't, but we can hook this up directly to an MFE. That will save room so that we don't have to convert it later. Or that'll save room, so whatever. We can save room so we don't have to store it directly into the bat box. In doing this, we just simply hook it up right to there. Now the MFE is just like the bat box. It has 5 inputs and 1 output, the plug being the output. Now for the high voltage the high voltage solar array, like we can't hook it up to the MFE because it too will explode. So let us just replace these real quick. So we have to hook up a medium voltage transformer. Then we can hook it up to an MFE if we so please. Or we can hook it directly up to an MFSU. Let me get that out real quick. Since the MFSU can withstand the power, thus we got that. But let's say we want to hook it up to our bat box. So we have to hook it up to this medium voltage transformer. Then we have to we can hook it up to our MFE. Wherever that did go, I do not know. So we'll go like that. Grab the MFE. See? No problem. Okay, now to hook it up to the bat box, if we hook this up to the bat box, we all know what happens. Pardon me. Just called me a liar. Just kidding. It explodes again. So we'll replace these once more. And we gotta hook up a low voltage transformer to it. Then we can hook it up to our bat box. Voila. And that is the end of my tutorial. Thanks for having. Please like my channel, subscribe, like this video, thumbs it up, and leave a comment what you want me to do next. As always, this is Havoc signing out. Peace.